I never thought photographing a book launch would end with a woman whispering, "I dream about you every single night." But that's exactly what happened. I'm right here. I didn't know it would cost me everything. Asterisk, asterisk. You're probably wondering how a 31-year-old freelance photographer ends up falling for a 46-year-old literature professor. Asterisk, asterisk. Let me tell you. Asterisk 4011-9. It wasn't the plan. Nothing about Isabel Hart was part of the plan. My name's Ethan Cole, 31. Freelance photographer, which means I'm always one bad month away from begging my parents for rent money. My last relationship ended 8 months ago. Emma, 3 years together, engaged for 6 months. She wanted kids in a house in the suburbs. I wanted to travel and shoot documentaries. She left, took the couch, the coffee maker, and my confidence with her. My parents still ask when I'm going to get a real job. I'm the family disappointment. My sister's a doctor. My brother's a lawyer. And I'm the guy who shows up to Thanksgiving with camera gear instead of a spouse. On a Tuesday in October, I got an email about a book launch. Author, Dr. Isabel Hart. English professor. Pay, $400 for 3 hours. I said, yes. The venue was a small bookstore. Exposed brick, Edison bulbs, the smell of coffee and old paper. I arrived early. The place was filling up. Academics in tweed, grad students with notebooks, older women with reading glasses on chains, and then she walked in. Dr. Isabel Hart, 46, according to the press release, but she didn't look like any professor I'd ever had. Tall, maybe 5 to 9 in heels with dark hair shot through with silver, pulled back in a loose bun, navy blazer, cream silk blouse, tailored trousers. No wedding ring. She had this presence. Magnetic. People turned when she entered. She smiled at someone, shook hands, laughed low and rich, like aged whiskey. I raised my camera, focused through the viewfinder. She glanced toward me. Our eyes met. She looked away first. I lowered the camera, my hands suddenly unsteady. The reading went smoothly. Isabel talked about time's Wuthering Heights asterisk, about Catherine choosing the safe man over the passionate one. We tell women to be practical, she said, to choose safety. But what if the safe choice is the one that kills you slowly? The room was silent, except for the soft hum of the heating system and someone's phone vibrating on mute. I took photo after photo. Her hands gesturing, her profile against the bookshelf, the way she tucked a strand of silver hair behind her ear. Afterward, people swarmed her. I packed up my gear. Excuse me. I turned. It was her. Up close, she was even more striking. Dark eyes, almost black with fine laugh lines at the corners. She smelled like jasmine and coffee and something warm, like cinnamon. You're the photographer? Her voice was softer now, almost tentative. Ethan Cole. She extended her hand. I shook it. Firm grip. Cool palm. Thank you for tonight. I know these events aren't exactly thrilling. You were great. Made me want to read Time's Wuthering Heights asterisk. Really? Then I've accomplished something. She paused. I'm Isabel. Just Isabel. Dr. Hart makes me sound like I'm about to prescribe antibiotics. Someone called her name. She glanced back, then at me. I have to go schmooze. But thank you again, Ethan. She walked away. I watched her go the way she moved through the crowd with easy grace. Asterisk, asterisk. I thought it was just a look. I didn't know it was the first crack in the dam holding her life together. Asterisk, asterisk. 3 days later, I sent her the photos. Professional. Polita. She replied within an hour. Is greater than asterisk. Ethan asterisk is greater than asterisk. These are extraordinary. There's this one shot of me looking out the window. I look almost hopeful. I haven't looked hopeful in years. Asterisk is greater than asterisk. Would you be available to guest speak in my visual storytelling seminar next semester? The pay isn't much, but I thought you might find it interesting. Asterisk is greater than asterisk. Isabel. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Say no, asterisk, asterisk, my brain said. Asterisk, asterisk. She's a professor. She's 15 years older. This is professional. Asterisk asterisk. But I typed, asterisk I'd love to, asterisk. Her reply came fast. Asterisk. Thank you for saying yes. Asterisk. That last line felt like more than a booking confirmation. Her classroom smelled like chalk dust and coffee. 15 students scattered across the room. Isabel sat on her desk, talking about visual storytelling. Photography captures what words can't, she said. The unsaid. The ephemeral. I showed my portfolio, talked about composition, narrative. Afterward, students asked questions. Isabel stood at the back, watching. When they left, she walked over. That was wonderful. They loved you. They loved you. I just showed pictures. Can I buy you coffee? As a thank you? Asterisk. Asterisk. Say no. Asterisk. Asterisk. Sure. We went to a cafe near campus. She ordered black coffee. I ordered a latte. How did you get into photography? She asked. I told her. Community college dropout. Retail jobs. Saving for a camera. Teaching myself. From YouTube. No family business to fall back on? My dad's a mechanic. My mom's a nurse. They think I'm wasting my life. Are you? I don't know. Are you wasting yours teaching Victorian lit? She smiled. Touché. We talked for 2 hours. Books. Photography. Failure. She'd wanted to be a novelist but couldn't finish anything. I'd wanted to be a photojournalist but didn't have the guts. We're both sellouts, she said. Speak for yourself. I'm a times freelance times sellout. She laughed. That low, rich laugh. When we left, the sun was setting. Thank you, she said. I needed that. Needed what? Talking to someone who isn't an academic. You have no idea how suffocating that world can be. She looked at me. Really looked. Her eyes searching. Ethan, can I ask you something? Sure. How old do you think I am? I hesitated. 40? 46. Okay. Does that bother you? Why would it? She smiled, sad. Small? Never mind. She walked away. I stood there, wondering what that meant. We started meeting for coffee every week, then twice a week, then 3 times. She'd text, asterisk, coffee this afternoon? Drowning in grating. Asterisk, I'd text back, asterisk, same place, 3 p.m. Asterisk. She told me about her life. Her ex-husband Richard, also a professor, pompous and controlling. How he'd had an affair with a grad student. How Isabel had felt relief more than heartbreak when he left. I didn't love him anymore, she said one afternoon, staring into her coffee. The cafe was nearly empty, just the hiss of the espresso machine and the soft indie folk playing overhead. I stayed because it was easier than leaving. And when he left, I realized I was free. Free? To do what? I don't know. That's the terrifying part. I spent 20 years climbing a ladder, and when I got to the top, I realized I didn't want to be there. Then quit. It's not that simple. I have bills, a mortgage, student loans mine and Lily's. I'm too old to start over. You're not old. I'm 46, Ethan. So you're 31? 15 years. Different generations. She smiled, but it was sad. You probably listened to, what is it now? Olivia Rodrigo? Bad Bunny? I still have CDs. Actual CDs. In a CD tower. I laughed. I know who Joni Mitchell is, if that helps. That's my point. You times know times who she is from a greatest hits playlist on Spotify. I times grew up times with her. I bought times Blue Times on vinyl when I was 16. We're not from the same world. Ethan, maybe that's a good thing. Or maybe it's a disaster waiting to happen. She looked out the window. The silence stretched between us, not comfortable, but loaded. Heavy with things neither of us wanted to say. The gap was there now. Visible. Acknowledged. Dangerous. One Friday, Isabel invited me to a faculty art exhibit. It'll be terrible, she texted. Asterisk. Come keep me sane? Asterisk. She wore a black dress, hair down in loose waves. She looked stunning. You look amazing, I said. You clean up well yourself. We walked through the gallery, whispering snarky comments. This one's called Existential Dread, she whispered, pointing at a blue square. Looks like I ran out of ideas. She laughed loud enough that people stared. Afterward, we went to a wine bar. Dark wood, jazz playing, the clink of glasses and low murmur of conversations. We sat in a booth. Why aren't you married? She asked suddenly. I told her about Emma. The fights, the breakup. My ex used to say I was emotionally unavailable, Isabel said, that I cared more about my career than my marriage. Was he right? Partially. But he was also a hypocrite. The air between us felt charged. Isabel, I said quietly, why did you really invite me tonight? She didn't answer, just traced the rim of her wine glass with her finger. Because I wanted to see you, she said finally. Because I think about you. More than I should. My heart stopped. I know it's inappropriate, she continued quickly. You're 15 years younger. You probably think I'm ridiculous. I reached across the table and took her hand. She froze. The jazz music swelled. Someone laughed at another table. I think about you too, I said. All the time. Her hand trembled. Ethan, she whispered. This is I know. People will say I don't care. We looked at each other. The moment stretched. Heavy. Dangerous. Her phone buzzed. She pulled her hand away, glanced at the screen. It's Lily. I have to. It's okay. I should go. Okay. But she didn't move. Just looked at me, her eyes wet. Asterisk, asterisk. That decision to let her leave would haunt me for weeks. Asterisk, asterisk. A week later, Isabel asked if she could see my studio. For the seminar, she said. I want to show students a working photographer's space. If that's okay. Of course. Come by Saturday afternoon? My studio was a converted garage behind a duplex I rented. Messy, cluttered with equipment, smelling faintly of developing chemicals and coffee. Sorry about the chaos, I said, moving a pile of lenses off a chair. It's perfect, she said, looking around. It feels real, lived in. I showed her my setup. Lighting configurations, editing station, my makeshift backdrop. She asked questions, took notes in a small leather notebook, and then she picked up a photo from my desk. A portrait I'd taken of her at the book launch. Unedited. Raw. She was looking off to the side, caught mid-thought. A soft smile on her lips. You kept this? She asked quietly. Her voice had changed softer, almost vulnerable. Yeah. Why? Because it's my favorite shot I've ever taken. She looked up at me. We were standing close. Too close. Maybe 3 feet apart. I could smell her perfume, jasmine, and something warmer, like vanilla. I could hear her breathing shallow, careful. Ethan, she whispered. I don't think. My phone rang. Loud. Jarring. The ringtone echoed off the concrete walls. We both jumped, like we'd been caught doing something wrong. I glanced at the screen. My mom. Asterisk, asterisk. Of fucking course. Asterisk, asterisk. I should. I started. Take it, Isabel said quickly, stepping back, putting distance between us. I should go anyway. I have papers to grade. Isabel, thank you for showing me the studio. It was illuminating. She left before I could stop her. The door closed with a soft click. I heard her car start, pull away. I stared at my phone, my mom's call going to voicemail, and realized I'd just lost another chance. Asterisk, asterisk. If I'd known that moment would haunt me for the next month, I would have let the call go. I would have kissed her. Consequences be damned. Asterisk, asterisk. Isabel stopped texting after that. No more coffee, no more emails, nothing. The silence was heavy, broken only by the aggressive ticking of my wall clock and the hum of the refrigerator in my empty apartment. I told myself it was for the best. But I felt sick. Late one night, 2:17 a.m. my phone rang. Isabel. Ethan? Her voice was shaking, breathless. I'm sorry. I know it's late. I had a nightmare about Lily. A car accident. I called her, but she didn't answer. And I can't breathe. I'm sorry, where are you? Home. Send me your address. You don't have to. Send it. I drove across town in 15 minutes. Her brownstone had ivy on the walls, a blue door with a brass knocker. She opened it in pajamas, hair down, no makeup. "I'm sorry," she said. "I shouldn't have called. You're not ridiculous." She let me in. Her living room smelled like old books and vanilla. We sat on her couch. Rain started falling outside, soft at first, then harder, drumming against the windows. "Yeah, she's fine." She thought I was crazy. "You're not crazy." We sat in silence. The fire crackled. The rain pounded. The old radiator hissed and groaned. "Ethan," she said quietly, "I dream about you." I looked at her. "Every single night," she said, her voice breaking. "I dream about you. And I wake up and hate myself for it. Because you're too young. Because I shouldn't. Stop dreaming," I said. She looked at me, confused. "I'm right here," I said. Her breath caught. I reached for her hand. She didn't pull away. "Isabel, I think about you every day, every night. I know it's complicated. I don't care. You should care. Why? Because I'm 46. Her voice rose. "Because in 10 years you'll be 41 and I'll be 56. You'll want kids. I'm too old. You'll want to travel. I have tenure. This is impossible. I don't care. I do." Tears streamed down her face. "Because I love you. And because I love you, this terrifies me." My heart stopped. "You love me?" She nodded, crying. "Then stop dreaming," I said again. "I'm right here." I leaned forward. She didn't pull back. We kissed. Soft at first, then desperate. Her hands in my hair, mine on her waist. She tasted like toothpaste and wine. When we pulled apart, we were both breathing hard. "This is insane," she whispered. "I know. We can't, I know." But she kissed me again anyway. We kept it secret for a month. Late-night visits. Dinner at her place. Falling asleep on her couch. It felt like living in a dream. Her ex found out in January. Richard called her. Furious. Isabel told me about it the next night, her hands shaking. He said, "I'm having a midlife crisis. Dating a Times photographer times 15 years younger." "What did you say?" "That it's none of his business." "Good." He said he's going to tell the department. Make me look unprofessional. Unstable. Let him try. "Ethan, you don't understand. One complaint to HR, and I'm under investigation. I could lose tenure. We didn't do anything wrong." "Didn't we?" She looked at me, tears in her eyes. "You were a guest in my class. The optics are terrible. Then we'll fight it." She buried her face in my hands and cried. 1 week later, Isabel got the email. She called me, her voice shaking. "Can you come over? I just need you here." I drove to her place in 10 minutes. She was sitting on her couch, laptop open, staring at the screen like it was a death sentence. She showed me the email, her hands trembling. "Is greater than asterisk. Dr. Hart. Asterisk is greater than asterisk. We have received an anonymous complaint regarding inappropriate conduct with a guest speaker, Mr. Ethan Cole, in your ENG 412 seminar, fall semester. The complaint alleges that you engaged in a romantic relationship with Mr. Planing Cole during the period he was affiliated with your course, creating an inappropriate power dynamic and potential conflict of interest. Asterisk is greater than asterisk. University policy requires us to investigate all allegations of this nature. Please schedule a meeting with Dean Morrison and an HR representative from the Office of Academic Affairs at your earliest convenience to discuss these concerns. Asterisk is greater than asterisk. Failure to respond within 72 hours may result in immediate administrative leave pending investigation. Asterisk is greater than asterisk. Dr. Patricia Chen, asterisk, is greater than asterisk. Office of Academic Affairs Times. "This is it," Isabel whispered. "My career, 20 years. Over. It's not over. We'll explain the timeline. We didn't start anything until after the seminar ended. Do you think they care about timeline?" Her voice rose. "The optics are terrible, Ethan. I brought you into my classroom. I gave you access to students. And then we started dating. That looks like grooming. Like I was using my position. You weren't. It doesn't matter what the truth is. She stood up, pacing. Perception is everything in academia. One rumor, one investigation, and I'm done. No other university will touch me. My book contracts will evaporate. Everything I've built will be gone. Then we fight it. How? She turned to me, tears streaming down her face. How do we fight Richard? He's respected, tenured, connected. And I'm the woman who fell in love with someone 15 years younger. I'm a cliché, Ethan. A pathetic cliché. I pulled her close. She collapsed into my arms, sobbing. Outside, a siren wailed in the distance. The radiator hissed, and I realized, for the first time, that love might not be enough. Richard demanded to meet me 2 days before Isabel's HR meeting. We met at a coffee shop. He was tall, gray-haired, wearing a tweed blazer. He looked me up and down like I was dirt. So, you're the photographer? Ethan. He didn't shake my hand. Just sat. How old are you? 31. 31. And Isabel's 46. You realize how that looks? I don't care how it looks. He smiled, cold. You will. When her colleagues whisper. When she loses respect. When she realizes you're just a phase. I'm not a phase. No? He leaned forward. What do you two even talk about? She reads Bronte and listens to NPR. You probably play video games and listen to… what, Spotify playlists? You're from different worlds. You don't know anything about me. I know enough. I know you're too young to understand what you're costing her. He stood. Enjoy her while it lasts. He left. I sat there, fists clenched, shaking. 2 days later, I got a call from the university's marketing department. Mr. Cole, we're canceling the graduation ceremony photography contract. We've decided to go with another vendor. Can I ask why? Pause. We've received concerns about your professionalism. The line went dead. I sat in my studio, staring at my phone, realizing Richard's poison was spreading. She came to my apartment afterward, pale, shaking. They didn't fire me, she said. But Dean Morrison strongly suggested I take a semester sabbatical for optics. They're assigning my classes to adjuncts. That's bullshit, and they said if any more complaints come in, they'll open a formal investigation. Isabel, I'm being punished, Ethan, for loving you. She started crying. I held her. The worst came 3 days after the HR meeting. Lily called on FaceTime. Isabel was at my apartment. We'd been eating takeout Thai food, trying to pretend everything was normal. When Isabel saw her daughter's name on the screen, her face went pale. I have to take this, she said. Want me to leave? No. Stay, she answered. Lily's face filled the screen, dark hair like her mother's, but with Richard's sharp features. She looked furious. Mom, is it true? Are you dating someone my age? Lily, I can explain. Dad says you're having a breakdown. That you're dating your photographer. That he was at the university and now you're being investigated. It's not… I'm not having a breakdown. Then what is it? Lily's voice cracked. Because it sounds insane. He's 31, Mom. I'm 19. He could be dating me. He's not dating you. He's dating me. Is he there? Let me see him. Isabel looked at me. I nodded. She turned the phone. Lily stared at me through the screen. Her expression was a mix of disgust and pity. Hi, Lily, I said quietly. You're ruining her life, she said. Her voice was cold, hard. You know that, right? She had a career, respect, and now everyone's talking about her, calling her desperate, saying she's having a midlife crisis. Lily, that's not fair, Isabel started. It's not fair? Lily laughed bitterly. What's not fair is that I can't go to my study group without people asking if my mom is okay, if she needs help. Do you know how embarrassing that is? I'm sorry, I don't want your apology, Mom. I want you to get your life together. I need space. Don't call me for a while. The screen went black. Isabel sat there, staring at her phone. The Thai food sat forgotten on the coffee table, going cold. The refrigerator hummed. A car alarm went off outside. And then she started crying. Deep, wrenching sobs that shook her whole body. I held her. And I realized, for the first time, what I'd cost her. Not just her career, but her daughter. 2 weeks later, Isabel ended it. We were in her living room. She'd been distant all week. "I can't do this," she said. "Do what?" "This. Us." Her voice was flat. "Dead. I've lost my daughter, my reputation, soon my career. All. For what? For a man 15 years younger who'll realize in 5 years that I'm too old, too complicated, too damaged. But love isn't enough. Sometimes you have to choose reality over fantasy. Isabel, please go. Don't do this. Please." I left. The door closed behind me with a heavy, final thud. I heard the lock click. And then, faintly, the sound of her crying. I didn't hear from her for 2 months. I threw myself into work. Weddings, corporate gigs, kept busy. But every night, lying in bed, I thought about her. Her laugh, her voice, the way she said my name like a prayer. In September, I saw a flyer taped to a coffee shop window. Dr. Isabel Hart, book signing, Jane Eyre, and Modern Love, The Gilded Page Bookstore, Saturday, 2 p.m. I stared at it for 5 minutes. The same bookstore where we'd met. Full circle. I told myself not to go, that it would only hurt, that she'd made her choice. But Saturday night, I found myself walking through that blue door again. The bookstore smelled the same coffee and old paper. The crowd was smaller this time, maybe 20 people. Isabel sat at the same table where she'd sat a year ago. She wore a gray sweater, her hair pulled back. She looked tired. Beautiful, but tired. Older, somehow, like the last year had aged her. She was signing a book for an elderly woman when she looked up and saw me. She froze. The pen slipped from her hand, clattered on the table. The elderly woman said something. Isabel nodded, smiled automatically, finished signing. But her eyes kept darting back to me. I waited at the back, hands in my pockets, trying to look casual. When the last person left, she stood. We looked at each other across the empty bookstore. "Hi," I said. "Hi." Her voice was barely a whisper. "Congratulations on the book. Thank you." She paused. "What are you doing here? I wanted to see you." "Ethan, can we talk? Just for a few minutes?" She looked at the bookstore owner, a woman in her 60s, stacking chairs. "Margaret, I'm going to step out for a bit." Margaret looked at me, then at Isabel, and smiled knowingly. "Take your time, dear." We walked to the small park across the street. The same park where I'd photographed kids playing last summer. We sat on a bench. The sun was setting, painting the sky pink and gold. A jogger passed by. A dog barked in the distance. "I miss you," she said suddenly. "Every day, every night. I miss you." My throat tightened. "I miss you too. But nothing's changed, Ethan." She looked down at her hands. The age gap. The judgment. My job. "Lily. How is Lily?" "She's coming around. Slowly. We had coffee last month." She didn't yell. "That's progress. That's good." "She asked about you." "She did?" She asked, "If you were the reason I seemed happier last year." Before everything fell apart, Isabel's voice cracked. I said yes. And she said maybe she'd been too harsh. That maybe I deserved to be happy. "Isabel, but I'm still scared," she continued. "Of what people say. Of what I've lost. Of what I might lose again. I don't care about any of that. You should. But I don't." I took her hand. Her fingers were cold. "I love you. I don't care about the age gap. I don't care what people say. I just want to be with you." She looked at our hands, intertwined. "What if we fail?" she whispered. "Then we fail. But at least we tried. I'm so scared, Ethan. I'm 47 now. You're 32. In 10 years. In 10 years. I'll be 42. And you'll be 57. And I'll still love you." "You don't know that." "Yes, I do." She looked at me, tears streaming down her face. "Stop dreaming, Isabel," I said softly. "I'm right here." She kissed me. Right there. On the bench. In the park. In front of the joggers and dog walkers. And anyone who cared to look. And for the first time in months, I felt whole again. We're still together. It's not perfect. It never will be. Richard still makes passive-aggressive comments at faculty events. Last month, at a symposium, he introduced me to a colleague as Isabel's friend. The colleague looked confused. Richard smiled. Everyone knew. Some of Isabel's colleagues still whisper when we walk into a room together. I see them, the raised eyebrows, the knowing looks, the way conversations stop when we approach. Isabel pretends not to notice, but I see her shoulders tense, her smile go tight. She got her classes back after the sabbatical, but the dean suggested she step down from the graduate program admissions committee. For optics. She agreed. She had no choice. I lost the university photography contract permanently, built a client base elsewhere, weddings, small businesses, editorial work. It's been hard. But I'm making it work. Lily visited last month. She stayed for a weekend. It was awkward at first, forced conversations over coffee, uncomfortable silences, but on the last day, she hugged me goodbye. Brief. We moved in together 3 months ago. A small 2-bedroom apartment near the university. Too many bookshelves? Not enough closet space. Her collection of vinyl records and my photography equipment crammed into every corner. She still worries about the age gap. I catch her sometimes, standing in front of the mirror, touching the gray at her temples. I'm getting old, she says. So am I say. You're 32, and you're 47. So what? So in 10 years, I'll be 57. You'll want someone younger. I'll want you, I say. Only you. Every night, before we fall asleep, she whispers, I used to dream about you. And I say, you don't have to dream anymore. Sometimes, late at night, I lie awake and think about what we've sacrificed. Her reputation, my university work, the easy path. And then I look at her sleeping beside me, her face peaceful, her hand reaching for mine even in sleep, and I know I'd do it all again. Every sacrifice, every whisper, every judgment. For her. Asterisk, asterisk. You probably think we're crazy, that the age gap is too big, that it won't last. Asterisk, asterisk. Maybe you're right, but I'd rather be crazy with her than sane without her. Asterisk, asterisk. If you'd told me a year ago that photographing a book launch would change my life, I'd have laughed. Asterisk, asterisk. But here I am. Broke. Blacklisted by one university. In love with a woman 15 years older. Living in an apartment that's too small. Building a life that doesn't make sense to anyone but us. And I've never been happier. Asterisk, asterisk. Sometimes the most beautiful mistakes are the ones we never regret. Asterisk, asterisk. And Isabel? She's the best mistake I've ever made. Asterisk, asterisk. END. Asterisk, asterisk.